Hello students, today we are going to start with a new lesson, that is coordinate geometry. Now coordinate geometry, as you know, it is based on coordinate axis. You must have studied it in the 9th standard. Let's review little bit what is coordinate axis means. It means that there is one x-axis and one y-axis. Now there is a number line on the x-axis as well as y-axis. Now this coordinate system is divided into 4 parts. This is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, this is the fourth quadrant. Now on the first quadrant, both the coordinates are positive. In the second one, the first one is negative, the second one is positive. In the third one, both are negative. And in the fourth one, the x is positive and the y is negative. So the numbers are like this. So on and so forth. It goes on. Okay. Here it is all the negative terms. And here also negative terms. And here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the positive terms. Now supposing you have a coordinate. Like for example you have, supposing this. So how do you find out which coordinate it is? What is the coordinates of this point? Supposing we'll name it as point P. You draw dot 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 like that, and you draw dot over here, and then the x1 you take first. So P x1 will be 4 and y1 will be 5. Alright. So now this one over here, which is x-axis, is known as abscissa, and this one over here is known as ordinate, and both together constitute the coordinates. So these are the coordinates. Now what is this reflection? Now this coordinate system is divided into 3 parts. One is reflection, one is section formula, and one is equation of line. Now there are 15 sums we are going to solve, 5 of every lesson, and another 15 are given as homework. So you will have 10 sums of every lesson. Alright, so if you do this 10 sums of every lesson, you have done this chapter thoroughly. Okay, we have covered up all the different types of these 3 lessons. Alright, so before we start with this topic, the basic, that is coordinate system. So this is your y-axis, this is your x-axis. It's divided into number lines over here like this. This is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. In the first quadrant, both are positive. Second quadrant, the x is negative, the y is positive. In the third quadrant, the x as well as y is negative. In the fourth quadrant, the x is positive, the y is negative. Now, any coordinate over here, like for example, P over here. So, how do you find out the coordinates of point P? You just extend this, and where it is coming on the x-axis, you take it down. So, it's coming 4 over here. And you extend it on the y-axis, wherever it comes on the y-axis, write it down. So it is coming on 5. So P 4, 5. Out of that, 4 is known as the abscissa, 5 is known as the ordinate. Now what is reflection? Now you, most of you or all of you must have seen yourself in mirror. So you must have observed that as you stand far away from the mirror, that much distance your image is formed within the mirror. So further you try it at home again. So as you go further away from the mirror, if you have a large mirror, you will come to know this very well. So as you go further away from the mirror, your image will get formed within the mirror. Okay, that much inside the mirror. Okay, so same way, like supposing if this is P coordinate, which is 4, 5, when it is reflected in the x-axis, supposing this is the x-axis, or we can say this x is supposed to be the mirror. supposing you have placed a mirror over here. So if you have kept a mirror over here, where will this point come? How much ever distance from this side, that much distance within. Okay, within the mirror. So this point will come 4 comma minus 5. So this is P dash 4 comma minus 5. That means this point 4 comma 5, when it's reflected in the x-axis, what has happened? The y coordinate has changed. So it becomes 4 comma minus 5. Now what happens if this point P would have been reflected in the y-axis? Like instead of x-axis, I have taken the mirror over here on the y-axis. Then this point will have come, the image of this point will come on the other side. That means it will come this side like this. At minus 4. So P double dash will be minus 4 comma 5. Okay, so P 4 comma 5, reflection in the y-axis, P double dash, x coordinate changes. So did you understand? So whenever there is reflection in the y-axis, the x coordinate has changed, and whenever it's reflection in the x-axis, y coordinate changes. How about the center? Supposing this is the origin, 0 comma 0. If this point P is reflected in the origin, 4 comma 5. If it's reflected in the origin like that, mirror is kept like this. So then this point will come this side. So 4 comma 5 will be coming minus 4 minus 5. So it will be somewhere over here. This is P triple dash minus 4 comma minus 5. So reflection in the origin, P triple dash will be minus 4 minus 5. So again, whenever it is reflection in the x-axis, y coordinate changes. Reflection in the y-axis, x coordinate changes. Reflection in the origin, both the coordinate changes. Let's write the formula for reflection. So reflection, the formulas, P x comma y, reflection in the x-axis gives you x comma y minus y. Then P reflection in the y-axis, x coordinate changes. Then P x comma y, reflection in the origin, both the coordinates changes. Now any point on the x-axis, y is 0. Okay, remember that. And any point on the x-axis, any point on the x-axis y is 0, any point on the y-axis x is 0. Like for example, if you have a point on this 3 over here, so the coordinates of that point will be 3 comma 0. Any point over here, supposing one point is over here, so the coordinates will be 10 comma 0. Okay, sorry, this will be 0 comma 3. Okay, because it's on the y-axis, so it will be 0 comma 3. So just keep that in mind. So whenever they speak about x, y will be spoken of. Like point on x-axis, y is 0. Point on x-axis, y is 0. Got it? So just go through this formula, and now we'll do the formulas on section formula. Okay, we will study about different types of formulas on section formula. We have the coordinate axis x and y. Just fill in this number line first. Whenever you get questions on this, use the graph paper only when it is asked from you to do so. Okay, rough number line you can draw in case if you are not understanding what the sum is about. So that time you can draw rough number line. Okay, this is your origin. Now supposing P 3 comma 4 is reflected in line x is equal to 5. So this is x-axis and this is the mirror. X is equal to 5 means this is the line which is passing through this 5 over here. So this point P is reflected in the line x is equal to 5. So how much ever distance from here to here, that much distance that side. So how much is the distance from here? See, 1, 2. So here also 1, 2. So it will become 7 comma 4. That means your y will not change, but x coordinate changes. Okay. And another example, if supposing this point P 3, 4 is reflected in such a way, y is equal to 5. Y is equal to 5 is over here. So supposing y is equal to 5 means line is over here. Okay, so it's reflected in y is equal to 5. So you draw a line over here which is passing through y is equal to 5, and this point is reflected in that. So how much ever distance from here to here, that much distance that side. So from here to here one distance, so here one distance. So it will become 3, 6. As you have seen over here, the x remains the same, y changes. So whenever it is reflection in the x axis, then the y remains the same, and whenever it is reflection in the y axis, then x remains the same. Alright. Then supposing there is this coordinate x -3, 0 and y 0, 4. Now this point is invariant in a certain reflection. That means question is equal to answer. So when under what axis will the question will be equal to the answer? So -3, 0, it will be reflection in the x axis. So reflection in the x axis, y coordinate changes. So -3, 0 will be -3, -0. That is -3, 0. And 0, 4 reflection in the y axis means x coordinate changes. So 0, 4 will become -0, 4, that is 0, 4. So the values remain the same. This is invariant. So questions based on that will also come in the exam. Now we study all the formulas of section formula. That's another lesson. Okay. So this is the coordinate axis, the x axis and the y axis. And supposing there is point P. The coordinates of point P is x1, y1, and supposing there is point Q, the coordinates of Q is x2, y2, and if it cuts the y-axis at some point R, so the coordinates of R will be 0, 3 because it's passing to 3, so 0, 3, and I've taken that as x and y. And this PRRQ, the ratio is m:n. Okay, it can be any ratio. They'll give it to you in the exam. Okay, so then how do you use the section formula? X is equal to mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n. Y is equal to my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. So that's the section formula. Section formula is x is equal to mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n. Then y is equal to my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. Just remember this section formula and see how it is applied. So it is applied only when ratio is given. So whenever ratio is given, m:n, whatever ratio, then you can find out the ratio also, and you can find out the coordinates with the help of section formula. Now midpoint formula. So what is midpoint formula? X is equal to x1 plus x2 upon 2, y is equal to y1 plus y2 upon 2. Now when is midpoint formula taken? Now supposing R divides PQ in the ratio 1:1, that is m:n is 1:1. So instead of m put 1 and instead of n you put 1. So x2 plus x1 upon 1 plus 1 is 2. So that's how you get the midpoint formula. Then the third one is centroid formula. Okay, now what is this centroid formula? It is x1 plus x2 plus x3 upon 3 and y is equal to y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3. Okay, centroid formula. It is center of the triangle. Okay, centroid means what? Center of the triangle. Supposing you have a triangle and the vertices are given x1, y1, and here it is x2, y2, and here it is x3, y3, and you have to find out the centroid. So how do you find out the centroid? You have to use the centroid formula, x1 plus x2 plus x3 upon 3, y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3. So in case it is specified, you have to use the centroid formula. If they say midpoint in the question, then use the midpoint formula. Do not use this formula unless specified. Okay, section formula is when you have been given the ratio. Alright, so that finishes all the formulas for section formula. Now the next topic is the formulas for equation of line. We start with the formulas of equation of line. Supposing you have this coordinate axis, x-axis and y-axis, and there is any coordinate p, x1, y1 and q, x2, y2, and it is at an angle down, it's slopey, it's not straight, it's not parallel to x-axis or y-axis. Then how do you find out the equation of that? So for finding out the equation of that, first you need to find out the slopey thing. So slope can be found out. Now slope is also called as the gradient. Slope m is also called as the gradient. So slope is given by m is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Slope is also given by the formula m is equal to tan theta. Now supposing they have given an angle of inclination, supposing this is extended and the angle over here is 30 degrees, then that time you are going to use tan 30 for finding out the slope, and tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So you can find out the slope or the gradient by any of these formulas. Now the second formula you need to know is of the equation. Equation can be found out. One is point slope form. So supposing if there is a point given, point P, the coordinate is given x1, y1, and supposing the slope is given, okay, slope any slope is given, m is equal to a upon b or whatever, then you use the point slope form. So this is the point slope form. So what is the formula equation of in point slope form? Y minus y1 is equal to m bracket x minus x1. So here this x1, y1 you have to take over here. Rest all you keep it as it. Slope whatever is there you substitute over here. Okay, so this is point slope form. Equation can be found out by this one method, and there is another method also, that is slope intercept form. Slope intercept form is to be used whenever they have given the y-intercept. Supposing this line is cutting the y-axis at point 3, that means y-intercept is given. So whenever y-intercept is given and the slope is given, supposing you have the slope given as a and the y-intercept is given as b, then you can use this formula y is equal to mx plus c. So y is equal to mx plus c formula is used whenever they have given the slope and the y-intercept. So c is what? The y-intercept. In this case, in this line, the y-intercept is 3. Alright. So these are all the formula. Now there are another formulas also, the sums of which are not coming for this board exam. Okay, like for example, if the two lines are parallel, if two lines are parallel, then slopes are equal, and if two lines are perpendicular, then m1 m2 is equal to -1. This is also very important, because when the two lines, supposing there are two lines which are parallel, then the slopes are equal, and if the two lines are perpendicular, then m1 m2 is equal to -1. Fortunately for you, this type of sums are cancelled from the boards, so we won't be doing sums on this, but this formula is very important for you to know for 11th and 12th standard, because this lesson is going to come for the 11th and 12th standard also. Okay, so that concludes all the formulas of coordinate geometry. Now we start with the sums. So we'll be I'll be explaining you 15 sums, and then another 15 sums you have to be doing it as homework. In the description I have given a link. When you click the link, the classwork, that means the sums which we are doing, and plus the homework and all the formulas will come. You just take a printout of that worksheet, which will be helpful for you later on for revision as well as for the 15 homework sums. Alright, now we start with the first topic, that is reflection. So the first most likely question we are going to study and solve. I hope you will understand. The question goes like this. Point 3, 0 and minus 1, 0 are invariant points under reflection in line L1. So invariant points means the values do not change. The question is equal to the answer. I had explained that to you earlier in the formula list. Points 0, minus 3 and 0, 1 are invariant points on reflection in L2. Now these are another set of points on reflection in L2. Okay, they are invariant points. Name or write the lines L1 and L2. Now you have to write the equations and name the reflection under which it undergoes. Write down the images of P3, 4 and Q minus 5, minus 2 on reflection in L1. So these two coordinates you have to reflect in L1, whatever axis L1 undergoes the reflection. Name the images P dash and Q dash respectively. Write down the images of P and Q on reflection in L2. Name the images as P double dash and Q double dash respectively. State or describe a single transformation that maps P dash to P double dash. So these are the various set of questions which are asked. So first we'll solve the A part, that is 3, 0 and minus 1, 0 are invariant points under reflection in line L1. So this is L1, 3, 0 and minus 1, 0 are invariant points. Under invariant means values do not change. Okay, so under what reflection it will be? See, under what reflection question will be equal to answer? Yes, reflection in the x-axis. So if it is reflection in the x-axis, y coordinate changes. So 3, 0 becomes 3, minus 0. That is 3, 0 also, only. Then minus 1, 0 reflection in the x-axis, y coordinate changes. Minus 1, minus 0, that is minus 1, 0. So question is equal to answer. So reflection in x-axis, and the equation of this is y is equal to 0. See, everywhere y equal to 0, no? So that is the equation of L1. Now for L2, what they have said, 0, minus 3 and 0, 1 are invariant point under reflection in certain axis. Now you have to tell me what axis this reflection is. 0, minus 3, the question is equal to the answer. The values have not changed, invariant. So yes, it is reflection in the y-axis. So whenever it is reflection in the y-axis, x coordinate changes. 0, minus 3 becomes minus 0, minus 3, which is 0, minus 3 only. Same with 0, 1 becomes minus 0, 1. That is same as 0, 1. So reflection in y-axis. So reflection in y-axis, and the equation of this will be, equation of L1 will be x is equal to 0. Alright. Now further, A part, name and write down lines L1 and L2. So lines L1 and L2, I wrote it down. This is L1, this is L2. Then write down the images of P3, 0. Now this is B part. Images of P3, 4 and Q minus 5, minus 2 on reflection in L1. Now what is reflection in L1? X-axis. So reflection in L1, P dash you have to take. So reflection in x-axis, y coordinate changes. So 3, minus 4, Q dash minus 5, 2. You know M stands for what? When I am writing, these are the steps. You have to follow these steps when you are writing it in the exam paper. M stands for mirror. Alright. Now the C part, write down the images of P and Q on reflection in L2. So P3, 4, Q minus 5, minus 2, reflection in y-axis. L2 means y-axis. So P double dash will be, y-axis means x coordinate changes. So Q double dash will be 5, minus 2. See, the x have changed. Now D part. Right, describe a single transformation that maps P dash to P double dash. So P dash, what are the coordinates? 3 and minus 4. And P double dash is what coordinate? Minus 3, 4. So what will be the transformation over here? This will be reflection in what axis? Just check. Both the coordinates have changed now. So it's reflection in the origin. Okay. Reflection in the origin. Alright. We start with the second sum. Point P, A, B is reflected in the x-axis to P dash 2 minus 3. Write down the values of A and B. P double dash is the image of P reflected in the y-axis. Write down the coordinates of P double dash. Find the coordinates of P triple dash when P is reflected in the line parallel to y-axis such that x is equal to 4. Okay, so first of all, we'll solve the first part. So P, A, B is reflected in the x-axis. So if it is reflected in the x-axis, what happens? Y coordinate changes. So it will be P dash A, minus B. But they have already given the coordinates of P dash. Let's see. P dash they have given as 2 and minus 3. So comparing. So A will be 2 and minus B will be minus 3. See, A will be 2, minus B will be minus 3. Therefore, B is equal to 3. So now we've got A ka value, B ka value. That is P ka coordinates we have got 2, 3. Alright. Now that is the first part. Now what there was? P double dash is the image of P reflected in the y-axis. So P2, 3 reflection in the y-axis. Reflection in the y-axis means what happens? X coordinate changes. So minus 2, 3. Alright. Now next. Find the coordinates of P triple dash when P is reflected in the line parallel to y-axis such that x is equal to 4. Now for that you need to draw the rough graph. Okay, on the right hand side of the answer sheet, a small rough graph you draw as I have drawn. You use the graph paper only unless it is specified in the question. Use graph paper for this question. If it's not specified, draw rough graph. It will be able to explain your teacher also and for you to understand also. So what they have said in this question, find the coordinates of P triple dash when P is reflected in the line. Now P is 2, 3. So 2 and 3 over here. This is your P, 2, 3. Is reflected in the line parallel to y-axis. This is y-axis. A line parallel to y-axis such that x is equal to 4. That means this line over here. It is passing through x is equal to 4 and this point P is reflected and this line which is passing through x is equal to 4 is the mirror. So how much ever distance from here to here, that much distance on the right hand side. So from here 2 steps, 1, 2. So here also 2 steps. So it comes P triple dash will be 6, 3. So that's your answer. Okay. So you write the answers properly in steps. The first answer is First answer is P 2, 3. Second answer is P dash minus 2, 3. Third answer P triple dash coordinates of P double dash. This will be P double dash. And P triple dash, the coordinate is 6, 3. Alright, the third sum. The point P 5, 3 was reflected in the origin to get P dash. Write down the coordinates of P dash. If M is the foot of the perpendicular from P to the x-axis, find the coordinates of M. Next question of that support. If N is the foot of the perpendicular from P dash to the x-axis, find the coordinates of N. D. Name the figure PM P dash N. E. Find the area of the figure PM P dash N. Alright. P 5, 3 reflected in the origin. So when it's reflected in the origin, 5, 3 reflected in the origin. To get P dash. Reflected in the origin means both the coordinate changes. Okay. Write down the coordinates of P dash if M is the foot of the perpendicular from P to the x-axis. So for that you need to plot these points on the rough graph paper. Okay. So P is 5, 3. So 5, and 3. So this is 3. Okay, and P dash is minus 5 comma minus 3. Minus 5 comma minus 3. These are all negative ones. These are positive. Okay, so P is 5 comma 3 and Q is minus 5 minus 3. And they are saying if M is the foot of the perpendicular from P to the x-axis. P to the x-axis. So this is the x-axis. P towards the x-axis. And that is M. So any point on the x-axis, y is 0. Okay, and N is the foot of the perpendicular from P dash to the x-axis. So let's go like that. So this is N. And the coordinates of that will be minus 5 comma 0. Now find the coordinates of M and N. Then name the figure PM P dash N. Now join this. So what is this supposed to be? It's a parallelogram. And area of parallelogram is what? Base into height. See, this is two triangles. And area of triangle is half base into height. There are two. So half plus half, that means 1. So base into height. So base, count the number of boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So base is 10. Height is how many boxes? 1, 2, 3. So 3. That's 30 square units. Alright. So that's how we get this. Write the answers properly. First part they ask the coordinates of P dash. P dash is minus 5 comma minus 3. Second is coordinates of M and N. Then third is they ask name the figure PM P dash N. That's parallelogram. And fourth, the area 30 square units. Alright. The fourth sum. The point P 3, 4 is reflected to P dash in x-axis and O dash is the image of O, the origin, when reflected in line PP dash. Write the coordinates of P dash and O dash, the length of segment PP dash and OO dash, the perimeter of the quadrilateral POP dash O dash, D part, the geometrical name of the figure POP dash O dash. Okay, so the points P 3, 4 is reflected to P dash in the x-axis. So P 3, 4 reflection in the x-axis. Reflection in the x-axis, y coordinate changes. Okay. Then O dash is the image of O, the origin, when reflected in line PP dash. So then you draw a rough graph. Then you will understand. So I'll plot these points P and P dash on the rough graph. So 3 and 4. So that's your 3 and 4. And P dash is 3 and minus 4. So 3 and minus 4 is over here. So this is your line PP dash. Okay, and O is over here, the center, the origin 0, 0. This point O is reflected in line PP dash. That means mirror is kept over here. So when mirror is kept over here, this point O will come on the right hand side. How much ever distance from the left hand side, that much distance on the right hand side. So 1, 2, 3. So this side also 1, 2, 3. So the coordinates of O dash will be 6, 0. Alright. Now they have asked you to join all these points. Okay. So when you join these points, you have to find out the perimeter of the figure. So what figure does it form over here? See, this is a rhombus. Okay. So coordinates of P dash and O dash we've got. Then length of segment PP dash. So PP dash, the length is, see, PP dash, measure the number of boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 boxes. And O dash, number of boxes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then this is units. Then perimeter of quadrilateral PO, P dash, O dash. Okay, so perimeter of this. Now if you see properly, this is from year to year is 4 and from year to year is 3. So if you use Pythagoras theorem, this will come 5. This is 90. Same way over here also 5 will come. Same way over here also 5 will come. And here also 5 will come. So perimeter will be what? Perimeter is addition of all the sides. Okay, so 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. That is 20 units. Okay. So you've got it. So answer we'll write down now. First part they have asked. P dash and O dash. P dash ka value we've got 3 and minus 4. O dash is 6 and 0. Then the next part what they have asked. B part they asked length of P dash and O dash. P dash is 8 units and O dash is 6 units. Then C, the perimeter of P dash O. So perimeter is 20 units. Then D, the geometrical name, it's a rhombus. Alright. Now we go on the fifth sum. That's the start of the section formula. Okay, sums based on section formula. Start with the fifth sum. The point P 5, minus 4 divides the line segment AB as shown in the figure. So this is your A and this is your B. P divides AB in the ratio 2:5. So M is to N is 2:5. Now A is on the X axis. So coordinates of A will be X, 0. B is on the Y axis. The coordinates of B will be 0, Y. This is your x1. Now take this as x1, y1. This as x2, y2. And this you take it as x and y. So whenever P divides AB, A comes first. So whatever comes first, take that as x1, y1. B comes last, x2, y2. And P which divides AB in the ratio 2:5, take this as x and y. Now the ratio comes in the question. You have to use the section formula. So using the section formula, x is equal to mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n, y is equal to my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. Now substitute the value. X is 5, m is 2 into x2, that is 0, plus n is 5 into x1, that is x, upon n plus n, which is 5 plus 2, that is 7. Likewise, y is equal to m, that is 2 into y2. y2 is y, plus n is 5 into y1 is 0 upon 5 plus 2, that is 7. Send 7 that side. So 5x is equal to 35, x is equal to 7. Then here minus 28 is equal to 2y. Therefore y is equal to minus 14. So then the coordinates of A, will be 7, 0 and coordinates of B will be 0, minus 14 because B is on the y axis. So that's how we get the coordinates of A and B. Alright. Now the sixth sum. Find the coordinates of the point of trisection of the line segment joining 6, minus 9 and the origin. Trisection means what? A line is divided into 3 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3 parts. Okay. A line divided into 3 parts is known as trisection. So let's take this as A, 6 and minus 9. Let's take this as B, origin, that is 0, 0, and here M and here N. So you have to find out the coordinates of M and N. So for M we take this as X and Y, this as X1, Y1, this as X2, Y2. M divides AB in the ratio what? Just see, 1 part and 2 part. So ratio is 1:2. So use the section formula. X is equal to mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n. Y is equal to my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. Substitute the values. M is 1 and x2 is 0 plus 2 into 6 upon m plus n, 2 plus 1, that is 3. Same way 1 into y2 is 0 plus 2 into y1 is minus 9, 3. That comes to 12 upon 3, and this will be so then you got the values of m as 4 and minus 6. Now likewise for n. Now if you are taking n, you take this as x and y, and that time the ratio comes n divides AB in the ratio 2:1. So in this case m is to n will be 2:1. x1 y1 is going to be the same, x2 y2 also will be the same. Only the ratio is going to vary, but everything else is the same. So again use the section formula. X is equal to mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n. Y is equal to my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. Substitute the values. M is 2, x2 is 0, plus n is 1, into x1 is 6 upon m plus n, that is 3. And over here 2 into y2 is 0, plus n is 1, into y1 is minus 9 upon m plus n, that is 3. So this will be 2 into 0 is 0, 6 upon 3, that is 2. And over here minus 9 upon 3, that is minus 3. So then the coordinates of n will be 2, minus 3. So that's how we get the coordinates of the points of trisection. That is the value of m, that is 4 and minus 6, and value of n, that is 2 and minus 3. With the seventh sum. A line segment joining A minus 1, 5/3 and B A, 5 is divided in the ratio 1:3 at P. The point where the line segment AB intersect the y-axis. Calculate the value of A and the coordinates of P. So approximately I have drawn this rough graph for you to understand. Okay, so A is minus 1, 5/3. So it will be somewhere here. So just take that point as A. B is A, 5. It is cutting the y-axis. So it's somewhere on this side. So A ka coordinates is minus 1, 5/3. B ka coordinates is A and 5. It cuts the y-axis, and the coordinates of P I have taken it as X and Y. And the ratio they have given m is to n is 1:3. So if they have given you the ratio, then you have to use the section formula. You have to find out the value of A and the coordinates of P. Okay. So now using section formula. X is equal to mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n. Y is equal to my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. Substitute the values. So m is 1 into x2 is 5, no, A, plus n is 3 into x1 is minus 1 upon n plus n, that is 4. Likewise, now over here, P AB intersect the y-axis. So then in that case the x coordinate will be 0. So here you have to take 0. Okay, remember that AB is intersecting the y-axis. So in that the x will be 0. If AB is intersecting the x-axis, so in that y will be 0. So like that. And over here M is 1 into y2. y2 is 5 plus n is 3 into y1. y1 is 5 by 3 upon m plus n, that is 4. This 3 get cancelled. So this will be 5 plus 5 upon 4, 25 upon 4. Okay, and here we can get the value of a. Send 4 that side. 0 is equal to a minus 3. Therefore a is equal to 3. So the answer is, first part a is equal to 3. Second part p ka coordinate is 0 comma 25 by 4. Alright. Now we go on the 8th sum. Alright. So the 8th sum. The midpoint of the line segment joining the two coordinates are given and they have given the midpoint. Find the values of a and b. So this is a, this is b. The coordinates of a they have given 4a comma 2b minus 3 and b ka coordinate minus 4 comma 3b, and the midpoint is given 2n minus 2a. So whenever they have given and or specified in the question midpoint, then only use the midpoint formula. So this is your x1 y1, this is your x2 y2, this is x and y. So write using the midpoint formula. X is equal to x1 plus x2 upon 2, y is equal to y1 plus y2 upon 2. So substitute 2 is equal to 4a minus 4 upon 2 and minus 2a is equal to 2b minus 3 plus 3b upon 2. So it becomes 4 is equal to 4a minus 4. So 4a is equal to 8, a is equal to 2. And here it will be minus 4a is equal to 5b minus 3. Now a you have already got, that is 2. Substitute it. So 8 plus 3 is equal to 5b, that is 5. Therefore b is coming to minus 1. So you have got the value of a and b, and that's what they want. So answer, a is equal to 2, b is equal to minus 1. Alright. Now we'll go on the 9th sum. Now that is equation of line. Now the 9th sum, equation of line. I hope you have gone through all the formulas. The line 3x upon 5 minus 2y upon 3 plus 1 equal to 0 contains the point m comma 2m minus 1. So m is what? The abscissa or the x-axis, and 2m minus 1 is what? The ordinate or the y-axis. So instead of x you are going to substitute m in that equation which they have given, and instead of y you have to substitute 2m minus 1. So 3x upon 5 minus 2y upon 3 plus 1 equal to 0. Substitute x is equal to m and y is equal to 2m minus 1. We get, so 3m upon 5 minus 2 bracket 2m minus 1 upon 3 plus 1 upon 1 equal to 0. So take the LCM. LCM is 15. 5 3s are 15, 3 5s are 15, 1 into 15. So 9m minus 10 bracket 2m minus 1 plus 15 equal to 0. 15 goes that side. Anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So 9m minus 20m plus 10 plus 15 equal to 0. So 9m plus minus 20m is minus 11m plus 25 equal to 0. So 11m is equal to 25, m is equal to 25 upon 11. So that's your answer. So 2, 3 by 11. Okay, so that's your 9th sum. Now we'll solve the 10th sum. Okay, find the equation of a line. Find the equation of a line whose y-intercept is 2. Y-intercept is given by C. Okay, and slope is given. Slope is 3. So which formula do you use? You have to use the slope-intercept form. See, slope is there and y-intercept is also there. So what is the slope-intercept form? Y is equal to mx plus c. So y is equal to 3x plus 2. That's it. That's the end of the sum. Now we'll do the 11th sum. Find the equation of a line whose slope is minus 4 by 3. Mn minus 4 by 3 and which passes through minus 3 comma 4. So we'll take this as x1 y1. And you have to find out the equation of this. So formula for the equation, you have to use the point slope form. Okay, point is there and slope is there. Y minus y1 is equal to m bracket x minus x1. So y minus y1, that is 4. M is minus 4 by 3, x minus x1, that is plus 3. So it becomes then 3 that side. 3y minus 12 is equal to minus 4x minus 12. So 4x plus 3y is equal to 0. That's your answer. Alright. So now we solve the 12th sum. These are all very simple sums. Just you have to use the formula. So 12th sum. Find the equation of a line whose slope is minus 5 by 6. M is minus 5 by 6 and x-intercept is 6. So 6 comma 0. If it's x-intercept, then of course y will be 0. So take this as x1 y1. So use the point slope form. Point slope formula. So what is the point slope formula? Y minus y1 is equal to m bracket x minus x1. So y minus y1 that is 0 is equal to m is minus 5 by 6, x minus x1 that is 6. Send 6 that side. 6y is equal to minus 5x plus 30. So 5x plus 6y is equal to 30. That's your answer. Alright. The 13th sum. Now in the 13th sum, the coordinates are given ABC and you have to find out the centroid, center of the triangle. So A ka coordinate is 1, 4, B ka coordinate is 3, 2, C ka coordinate is 7, 5. So take this as x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. So using the centroid formula, x is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 upon 3, y is equal to y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3. Substitute the values. 1 plus 3 plus 7 upon 3, 4 plus 2 plus 5 upon 3, 11 upon 3. This is also 11 upon 3. So the coordinates of the centroid is 11 upon 3, 11 upon 3. Now question number 14th. Now in the 14th sum, the coordinates of A, B, C are given. You have to find out the equation of the median of a triangle through A. Median of a triangle through A. Median. So how do you find out the coordinates of M? Median means what? Midpoint. So using the midpoint formula for M, x is equal to x1 plus x2 upon 2, y is equal to y1 plus y2 upon 2. So this is your x1, y1, this is your x2, y2 and this is your x and y. Alright. So it will be 2 plus 2 minus 2 upon 2 and it will be on y-axis 2 plus 4 upon 2. 0, 3. So the coordinates of M is 0, 3. Now for finding out the equation of AM, you need to find out the slope first. So slope of AM, y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So you want the slope of AM na? So take this as x1 y1, this as x2 y2, and x and y coordinates you already found it out, that is 0 and 3. So substitute the values. See, 3 minus 5, that means plus 5, x2 is 0 minus x1 is 1, 8 upon minus 1, that is minus 8. Now you got the slope and you got the coordinates x1, y1. So you have the point slope form. Okay, equation in point slope form. Equation in point slope form. Y minus y1 is equal to m bracket x minus x1. So y minus y1. Y1 is what over here? That is minus 5. So it becomes plus 5 is equal to m is minus 8, x minus x1 is 1. So when you solve it, it comes y plus 5 is equal to minus 8x plus 8. That is 8x plus y is equal to 3. That's your answer. Okay. 8x plus y is equal to 3 is the answer. See the working and try solving it in your notebook again. Okay. Now the last sum. Now the given figure shows two straight lines AB and CD. Now they have given the equation of AB. AB is equal to y is equal to x plus 1, and CD ka also they have given the equation. Okay, y is equal to root 3x minus 1. Alright, so they have given the equation, and with the help of that we have to find out the angle. So this is point slope form. Okay, so slope intercept form, sorry, this is the equation is slope intercept form. What is the formula for slope intercept form? Y is equal to mx plus c. You know that slope intercept form? Just go to the formula list, so you will get the slope intercept form. Y is equal to mx plus c. Compare it. So what is the slope? See, in front of x whatever is there, that is your m. So m is 1. So m is 1. Now there is another formula for slope, tan theta. So if tan theta is 1, therefore theta will be 45 degrees. So tan 45 is 1. Likewise over here, compare it with slope intercept form. Okay, so y is equal to mx plus c. Likewise, compare it with this. So the slope is coming to root 3. So then tan theta is root 3. Therefore theta will be 60 degrees. Then the angle 5. See, one ka angle we've got as 45 degrees. Second ka angle we've got 60 degrees. So phi, the angle, the difference between them will be 60 minus 45, that is 15 degrees. That's your answer. So phi can be found out. This phi, this is a Greek letter, phi, is the difference of both these angles. So 45 degrees is one angle and 60 degrees another angle. So difference of that is 15 degrees. So we have finished all the sums, that is 15 sums of reflection, section formula, equation of line. Now 15 odd sums are there for homework. Please try them out, which are similar to this, and after practicing keep a proper notebook. Okay, and please let me know if any of these sums have come in the school exam or the coming board exam, and how these sums have helped you. Please like and share this video, and please subscribe if you want more videos of lessons of this type. Okay, that's all. See you. Bye bye.